Good day and welcome to this first episode of Namibian Wildlife Protection series on following the tracks. And today we follow the white and black rhinos tracks. White and black rhinos are common features in Namibia, and we are the only country in the world that has still free roaming black rhinos. There are, however, vast differences between the black and the white rhino, and probably the most prominent one is the shape of the mouth. The white rhino's upper lip is square, while the black rhino has a hooked upper lip. And interesting enough, that is where the name white comes from, because in the beginning it was actually called the wide rhino because of the wide mouth, and later it became white rhino, and then obviously the other one became the black rhino. The white rhino is much larger than the black rhino and is not that aggressive. Black rhinos are very aggressive, especially when you walk up to them in the veld. The other difference between the two is that the white rhino used to keep his head low down to the ground, while the black rhino keeps his head up. And the white rhino is also a grazer, eating grass, therefore the white upper lip. The black rhino is a browser on the other hand, and browsers eats leaves and twigs. Another interesting fact about the difference between the black and the white rhino is that the white rhino used to let his calf, the mother let the calf walk in front of her, while the black rhino's calf is always behind. The most obvious deduction that one can make from that is because the black rhino used to keep in thicker bush than the white rhinos. White rhinos prefer open grasslands and so forth, and the black rhino are very, very fond of thickets, thick bush areas, and maybe that's why they let the calf walk behind them, because the mother shows the way in these thicker bush areas. White rhino bulls have a way of marking their territory by dragging their hind feet and then normally urinating on that drag marks. Now that is something that you will always see where there's white rhinos in the area. You will see the bulls marking their territories, and they are very, very territorial. They also have a way of walking with their noses onto the ground, making like skid marks on the ground, dragging their noses on the ground while they walk, which is something that you obviously won't see with the black rhino. It is a common fact that rhinos are poached for their horns, and the rhino numbers came down in the past 50 years tremendously, in such a way that the black rhino is currently critically endangered. There's a tendency amongst rhino owners to dehorn them as a deterrent to poachers. And the interesting fact is that the rhino horn is like a nail, or actually like hair, and it grows back. So once you dehorn it, it grows back at more or less the rate of a kilogram of horn in 1 year. White rhino bulls, as well as the black rhino bulls, they use middens to deposit their dung. The females do not always use the middens, and interesting enough that the bulls normally kick open the dung on these middens. Many times you will find a female's dung in the veld, and it will still be intact, not being kicked open, although there are cases where females also kick open the dung. Tracks of the white rhino are obviously bigger than those of the black rhino, and both rhinos have tracks with 3 toes and a very soft sole. And interesting enough, if you look at the sole closely, you will see the patterns. It's almost like a thumbprint, and you can use that to identify an individual rhino, although over time those patterns might change. It doesn't stay the same forever. Thank you for joining us for this episode, and be sure to tune in for the rest of the series. We are following the tracks of various wildlife and animals here in Namibia, and we look forward to talk to you again. Namibian Wildlife Protection is an anti-poaching company. We specialize in the protection of farms, livestock, game, and especially the white and the black rhinos here in Namibia. We also make use of international volunteers to assist us in our goal to protect these precious animals. Please feel free to contact us should you wish to become part of our volunteer program.